Okay, these are your notes for section 5.7. We are still doing inequalities, but now we're going to put them on a graph, not just a number line, but a coordinate graph. So it's good review of y equals mx plus b. We haven't visited that since first semester. It's good to come back to. The only difference is when you have a less than sign or a greater than sign, when you draw a line, you're going to have a dotted line. If it's a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you'll just use a regular solid line. Kind of like the same idea when you graphed them on a number line. These were open circles and these were closed circles. If you can think of this as an open circle, you can try to remind yourself like, oh yeah, that's right, I have to do a dotted line. But then there's also going to be some coloring involved. Yay, we get to color. Because you're going to want areas that are less than and greater than, not just exactly the line. So what it looks like, if it says graph a linear inequality in slope-intercept form, the first couple will give it to you in slope-intercept form as a reminder. This is no different than y equals mx plus b. B is our y-intercept, so that's your base. You're going to start down, because it's negative, down 3 spaces. That's your first dot. From there, you go up 4 over 1. We always need a rise and a run. Up 4 over 1 is your next point. If you want to do it again, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, just to make a very nice straight line. Now is when, before you actually graph this, you look at that you have a greater than sign. Greater than sign without the equal sign underneath it means, all right, I'm going to draw a dotted line or a dashed line through those points. Because that basically says you can get as close to that line as you possibly can, but don't touch it. That's part of it. Now the other part is it says, I want everything, any number, any part of the graph that is greater than 4x minus 3. And it says y is greater. Reminder, this is your y-axis. So if you want greater, you're going up, 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 because you're comparing the y. Well, if I pick this point, what's bigger than this point? Everything above it. Everything above that point. Everything above that point. So above all those lines, above that line, and I'm going to use a crayon. We'll go with a big, thick blue crayon. Everything above that, you get to color in. Oops, I think that's black. So you color all of this and say any spot on this entire graph is all greater than that line. So all of that gets colored in. And again, you might be looking at that like, wait a second, that's less than. You're going to the left. We're not talking left and right. If you're talking about y is greater going up, it's less than going down. Different than a number line. We're not graphing these on a number line. Let's try another one. 3y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 15. It's almost in slope-intercept form, but not quite. So we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. You get y is less than or equal to negative 2/3 x plus 5. Start at our base, up 5. We have to make sure it fits on our graph, so we're going down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, and go back and double check. Since it has a equal sign to it, you're going to draw a solid line down 2 over 3. Back to the coloring, look at your symbol. It says y has to be less than or equal to. If you want y, again this is your y-axis, to be less, you got to go down. So I'm going to color it this time. No, we'll do a fancy pen. Creative. We'll go this color. Everything below this line. So all of that gets shaded and colored in. All right. Nothing really more to it than that. We'll just practice a couple more because the easiest graph in the world to make is the horizontal and vertical lines, but then you still keep getting them backwards or forgetting how to do these. It's y. Here's y. 3, 1, 2, 3. Your slope is 0, or you can say all of the y's in the whole entire graph are always going to equal 3, so it goes straight across. I already looked and had an equal sign, that's why we have a solid line. And it wants greater than. If you want greater than that, I'll color it rainbowy. All of this is greater than y is greater than or equal to 3. All of that above the line. And the last one. 2x minus 3y is greater than 9. Pause it, write it down. Try this. Solve this on your own to get y equals mx plus b, but don't graph it until you unpause the video and look and see if you got the same answer I did. Okay, pause it and solve it. All right, you're back. The first thing, you should have subtracted 2x. Don't lose track of your negatives. You have negative 3y. When you divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, you get y. Don't forget to flip the sign. Divide by a negative. Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the sign. A negative divided by a negative is a positive slope of 2/3 x, and 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. So now you're going to start down 3, go up to over 3. Take a look at your line. It's less than. No equal sign under it. Because there's no equal sign, I'm going to draw a dotted line. A lot of stuff to remember here. You got to remember to switch the sign divided by a negative. This has to be a dotted line. And less than goes lower. Let's go this color. Less than goes lower. All right, so that's what you're working on your worksheet, but I am going to show you quickly what it looks like on Edulastic when you do a worksheet. Let's say that you have to graph a point or graph a line, and you want to go up 2 for your base, and then from there you go up 3 over 4, graph your other point, it draws the line for you. But now you're like, well, what if I want a dotted line? What should I do with that? This word right here says dashed. Dashed. It didn't change it when I clicked dashed, but then when I click on the line, it becomes a dashed line. Can you see that? I might have to zoom in for you. See there it says dashed, and then it's a dotted line. And then up there on the top, you're going to click area. If you click area, what area do you want to zoom in on? Well, let's say my equation was y is less than, what did I have? 3/4 x plus 2. If y was less than that, it's a dotted line, and my area, I want anywhere lower, lower is less than, anywhere down there. So if you just click any point down there, it'll color it for you. And that's how you do it online. All right, good luck with that assignment.